Well, hello to the First Baptist Tulsa family and to the friends of First Baptist Tulsa. This is our midweek update for July 27th, 2022, our 3-2-1. So here are the three things that I want you to know, and really I'm going to tie all three of these together. It's really one event, but we have three opportunities, and that is our back-to-school events coming up here in the next few days. So July 30th, August 6th, those are 2 Saturdays, 2 back-to-school events, and in between we have one weeknight opportunity on August 4th. And I would encourage you to take one of these three opportunities to serve in our back-to-school giveaways. We're giving away backpacks and jeans and other school supplies. You can be a greeter as people come in. You can shop with a family as they go around picking up what they need for their family, or you can be behind the tables and helping people find and distribute what they want. So you have a lot of contact with people, or you can have minimal contact, but we're serving together. So if you sign up, choose a night, choose a school, you'll be put into a position where you can serve somebody else in the name of Christ. Do this with a community group member, maybe a friend, or show up by yourself, and we'll make sure there's a place. Sign up online to one of our back-to-school events. So that's the three things, three opportunities to serve. 2 chapters in the Bible I would invite you to read. Deuteronomy 5 and 6. Okay, now these are 2 very important chapters in the Older Testament. By the way, book of Deuteronomy is all about one God, one people, and between this one God and one people is one law. God says, here, if you're going to be my people, I expect you to act like my people. And Deuteronomy 5 is just that, the 10 Commandments. All right, and I think here's one of the greatest secrets of being a good parent. And that is, you have rules for your kids, but the rules don't change overnight. They're consistent over the long haul, And that's what the 10 Commandments are. God says, if you're going to be my people, here are the laws, here are the rules, and these things don't change. These are to be consistent over the long haul. So I know culture is changing a lot, but it's because we become our own standard of what's right and wrong. We are not the standard for right and wrong. God is. And so God says, if you're going to be my people, here's how I want you to behave. And the 10 Commandments really can be broken down into 2 categories. The first 4 have to do with our relationship with the Lord, and the last 6 have to do with our relationships with one another. And so these rules apply to our relationships with God and other people, and they don't change over time. We should practice very simple obedience to God as God's people, as He is our standard of holiness. Deuteronomy 6 actually contains what I would call the John 3:16 of the Older Testament. Okay, if you'll look in Deuteronomy 6, 4 and 5, it says, Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God, the Lord is one. You are to love the Lord your God with all of your heart, soul, and strength. So a good Israelite would quote this quite often. God is one, and I am to love Him with everything that I've got. Okay, and Jesus would call this the Great Commandment. One of the 2 great commandments. So, if you read on from there, just a few verses, it will say, Take this and tie it as a symbol on your hand and on your forehead, and put this on the frames of your door. And the Jews interpreted this very literally, that they would have small little vessels that they would keep on their hands with this verse written on the inside of it in a little container. Same thing on their forehead. They would write this verse and put it right here. You can take that literally, or you can take it very practically to say, loving God affects how I behave, it affects how I think, and loving God affects how I live. If I'm to put this on the door frame of my house, a little show and tell here, this is what's called a mezuzah. And Orthodox Jews or practicing Jews will still have these on their door frames today. A little decorative on the outside, but it's basically has a hollow place on the inside where you can take Deuteronomy 6, 4 and 5, write that on a little scroll, roll it up, put it in here, and put it on the door frame of your house. And it's a very tangible reminder of, I'm to love the Lord my God with all of my heart, soul, and strength. But it's not just about having it on a scroll on your door frame. It's about saying, the way we do family, the way we live, day in and day out, we want to love the Lord our God with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength. So I actually have a mezuzah on the door frame of my home. I have one on the door frame here in my office. But you know what? It's pretty easy just to tack this up on the door frame. It's a lot more challenging to say how I behave and believe and how I do life. It's all influenced by loving God with all of my heart, soul, mind, strength. This is why Jesus said this is the great commandment, because it takes all life long to learn how to live that. And I'm convinced that once we just start falling in love with God, those 10 commandments become a whole lot easier, right? Because it's not what we have to do, it's what we want to do because we love God with everything in us. So Deuteronomy 5, Deuteronomy 6, there's so much more to these chapters, but I wanted to highlight those in particular. One way to pray this week as we continue to study anger, look at that from a scriptural standpoint. Our verse from the week and the one to pray over our life is James 1:19. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. It'd be good to pray that consistently and constantly over your life this week. God, make me quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. Love being your pastor. Love serving you. Know that you are prayed for this week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.